So today, let us continue to talk about Pegaxy. So Pegaxy price basically has gone through a cycle of roller coaster, right? So starting from like near 10 cents, it went all the way up uh, to a top of like around 25 cents, 26 cents. So that happened around the beginning of February. That was the top, right? And then it went through a steady decline, a slow but steady decline. And right now we are actually at around 6 to 7 cents. So what really happened? So I think there are a few reasons for this. I think the most important factor is the macro factors, right? So the entire market, crypto market or financial market in general has been being surrounded by the fear of what is happening right now in Ukraine. So there's a fear about the Ukraine crisis escalating into a war between all the great powers in the world. So people don't want a world war. People also don't want to have a nuclear war. So the market is very scared right now. Bitcoin price also tanked, and as a result, a lot of the altcoins they had they had a bad week as well. So price has been falling throughout the entire crypto market, and the Pegaxy is no exception. On a micro level, I'm going to talk about the specific problems that are faced by Pegaxy. Right? So what did Pegaxy do wrong? Is this down for inevitable? Could they have done something different that could result in a better outcome? I think yes. So after getting into Pegaxy for like 1 month, I clearly know the strength of the game as well as some of the weakness. But hopefully they can learn from this. I'm still confident in this product for the long term. I think they are also reacting very quickly to solve the problem in VIS. Right? But let me just talk about some of the issue I think nobody have been talking about. So basically we have a rise to the top, right? And the problem that everyone knows is that of VIS. So what happened is that the mean to burn ratio has gone down quite somewhat from 90% to 70%. So that when you have this 20%, this 20 to 30% gap, which means that there's actually more VIS coming out to the market than VIS that is being burned. This can create a sell pressure on the VIS. So that is a problem that everyone is talking about, and everyone knows it. But in my opinion, this is not a major problem. VIS, more VIS minted than burnt is not the biggest problem in Pegaxy. I will say because remember with Axie Infinity had its bull market, right? The SLP has been flooding the market for a long time, right? So that didn't prevent Axie Infinity to become the greatest greatest game in the GameFi space, right? So the minting and burning, as long as you're not too bad, you don't screw it up too badly. That's not the biggest problem. The problem with SLP is that they really screw up the economy really, really too badly. So the oversupply of SLP has been going on for months before SLP price really tanked very, very badly. So people are saying, oh, we're having this crash because we have more VIS that is coming out into the market than that is being burnt. That is partially true. But the problem, but that is not the biggest problem. You can't explain that we have such a good time because you look at the graph, right? We have such a good time because we have 90% burnt. And when you drop to 70% burnt, then everything is falling apart. This doesn't make sense, right? So 90% is good, 70% is catastrophic. So no, that's not the main reason, in my opinion. Today, I'm going to tell you what is the main reason it's Pegaxy, right? So it has to do with the developers, some of the developers' vision and the built-in mechanism that is existing in this game. And all these built-in mechanisms are designed with good intention, but unfortunately they have a bad outcome. Okay, the mechanism is actually Corey has said this repeatedly. They do not want Pegaxy to grow too fast, so they achieve this by adding a lot of circuit breakers, right? or speed buffers. You can call them this way: speed buffers or circuit breakers into the game. So one of the speed buffer is actually a breeding cooldown. So which means that they have a very complicated breeding system. Which means that after you have done some breeding for the Pega, you cannot immediately for the new Pega that is being born, or for the Pega that has been involved in breeding, they cannot immediately be used to earn VIS, right? So this is actually creating a lot of a lot of difficulty for new player trying to get into the game. So as a result, actually, a lot of people actually want to get in the game, but they couldn't, right? Because if breeding speed is very slow, or should I say, if actually you can't get new Pega to earn VIS, then all you can do is actually buy Pega from the market, and the Pega from the market actually inflate. They have inflated price already. So for the retail, it's very scary to buy a Pega that's like buy a creature, buy an NFT that's over 2,000 USD dollar. So you think of it. So to keep the game friendly to newcomer, you have to keep the Pega price down. When you keep the Pega price fairly reasonably down, you have to let breeding take place at a faster speed. But apparently, Corey and his team has a different vision, because their rationale, which is perfectly logical, is that if you let breeding happening too fast, too many people come in, this will result in a sharp rise in the VIS price, right? In the initial stage, followed by a sharp decline. Exactly what happened to SLP earlier. The mechanics is very simple, because when a lot of people actually want to get into the game, the demand for breeding increases, VIS increases, and VIS price increases. When VIS pricing increases, of course, we will see a parabolic rising VIS price. So assuming that all these cooling down mechanisms are not present, VIS price will have reached $1. But soon it will have a collapse because such VIS price is unsustainable. The reason why it is unsustainable, because all these new Pega that's entering the system, right? All the Pega, every one of them, are going to earn VIS in the future. So if you have the Pega population that basically double or triple within a very short period of time, your VIS supply is going to double and triple. So that will create a very damaging hit on the economy. So maybe if there's no breeding mechanism, we will hit like $1 for the VIS, right? But followed by a major crash, then we will see that the VIS basically crashed to 20 cents from $1. That's a simulation of what could have happened without the breeding cooldown. We could have gone to a top that's $1, and and followed by a crash that's 20 cents. Also remember that Corey and his team emphasize repeatedly, they do not want to spend too much money and effort on marketing. So this actually reflects their viewpoint that fast growth is actually bad for the game. Because fast growth, VIS, it will make VIS price unsustainable. Okay, so, and this is the problem. So I'm going to say why I somewhat disagree with this kind of with this point of view, right? I think they should they should unchain Pegaxy. Because currently they are actually doing a lot of things to deliberately stop the growth from taking place at a faster speed. Right? I think they should stop all these circuit breaker and speed buffers and just let the growth naturally happen at a faster space. Right? Okay, the reason is very simple, right? Okay, yes, if you don't stop the growth will go parabolic, and VIS price will be unsustainable at a higher price, and then it will crash. That is true, but the problem is, just because you stop the growth, listen here, this is very important. Just because you stop the growth, right? It's not going to prevent VIS price from falling. Anyway, because this is what we are happening right now, right? Because the thing about cryptocurrency is it has a very strong trending nature, right? When you go up, the sky is the limit, and we come down, there seems to be no floor. So the correct strategy to develop a game or develop a community as fast as possible is to be as aggressive as possible during the bull market. Yeah, let me repeat again. You need to be as aggressive as possible during the bull market, because when the bear market comes, there's nothing you can do about it. So you need to be aggressive in the bull market. So why is it important to be aggressive in the bull market? Look, because if the top is not 26 cents, if the top is $1, the floor will be much higher. This is that simple math and arithmetic, right? So during the bull market, the uptrend, you must let more money, more people lock into the game, and you let the game become more popular. So when the inevitable downtrend comes, they can come for whatever reason. You cannot stop every coin. You cannot stop a coin falling in price. I remember Bitcoin has its own disastrous moment, right? Bitcoin actually fell from 20,000 in 2017, the all-time high, to around $3,000 in early 2019, and that took them 1 year, right, from 2,000 to 3,000. But 3,000 is still fairly good for Bitcoin. But remember, Bitcoin could reach a floor of $3,000 because they had a top of $20,000. If they never had a top at $20,000, their floor would not be $3,000. It will be much lower. So imagine the Bitcoin, if the Bitcoin top is just $1,000, what would be the floor be, right? The floor is going to be like something like $100. So this is the game of cryptocurrency. You need to be aggressive on the way up, so that when the downtrend comes, when money is leaving the system, when people are dumping their coins for whatever reason, you actually had a higher floor because you reach a previous higher peak. So I think it's so basically we just went one big roller coaster back to where we started, right? So this is a little bit sad, yeah, but I think could have done better. The better is we shouldn't limit our growth when it's trending, right? Because frankly speaking, it sounds a little bit stupid to do that. Because Corey's rationale was that you need to limit the growth so that when the downtrend comes, it wouldn't be that bad. But clearly, we see that that's not the case. if you sabotage yourself during the growth stage, you're going to get a downtrend anyway, right? So the better way is actually not to limit the growth and let the price climb as high as possible. And when the downtrend comes, yeah, it's going to be painful, but at least we will be at a higher floor because we reach a greater height previously. So I think that is the better analogy, right? So because you can actually kickstart the entire growth phase to be faster, right? Because if you want the game to grow as fast as possible, a price is the best marketing tool, right? So this is true in cryptosphere. Price is the best marketing tool. So when your VIS price and your PGX price reach an insane high level, yes, it's unsustainable. Yes, it will correct down. Yes, people who buy at the top will lose money, but that doesn't really matter because the whole game is actually accelerating. So even you have an 80% decline from a top, the floor is actually much higher. Right? Actually, for a successful project, like this month's floor is actually even higher than the previous month's top. Right? That is the kind of development you want to see. So I hope Pegaxy can learn from this and try to stop and limit the growth. But if you actually look at the micro statistics, right, things are actually not too bad. These are not actually too bad because if you look at the amount of players who are playing right now, right, the statistic, the players who are playing right now, and how many Pega bond, how much Pega they are being transacted. We are actually much better than beginning of the rising phase, right? So if we compare here versus here, right, which the price actually, this price is actually even lower than the beginning, but the fundamentals, we look at how many people are playing this game, how many people are playing this game, actually how many people are selling the Pega, how many people are trading the Pega, the daily activity. We are actually much better than the start of the bull market, right? So I think if you look at the micro statistics, the micro fundamentals, the game is still solid, and I believe that the team, like Corey, they also has the vision to bring the game to greater height, and they have responded very quickly. They are doing some temporary solutions, which is to reduce the VIS that's coming out into the system to save the market, and eventually I think they will be successful, just like SLP. SLP did some Axie Infinity did some major overhaul to the game, right? And then SLP basically pump a few times, right? Basically pump like 4 to 5 times. So if you do the same thing to VIS will pump 4 to 5 times, right? Basically the update is to decrease the supply, then VIS will pump. Hopefully they learn from this experience, and next time when VIS is actually uptrend, do not try to slow the growth, right? Just let it go as high as possible. And that's all for today. Let me know what do you think about Pegaxy and what can be done better for the Pegaxy game.